Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Life with Shear-Rochelle. My name is Shear-Rochelle, obviously. Thank you so much for joining me on today. So today we're going to just be doing a quick, hopefully, maybe, possibly, I don't know, quick video, just going over my 2020 goals. And so if you want to see what they are looking like and get some inspiration or motivation to be able to start or keep going with yours, stay tuned. All right, let's get into it. So the main system that I am using for my goal planning is actually my power sheets, my Cultivate What Matters power sheets, which she actually still does have her power sheets on sale on her website at cultivatewhatmatters.com. And this system is something that I tried last year, but I did the 6-month version, which came out the middle of the year, and I actually never followed through with it because my life was just all over the place then, and I couldn't focus. I couldn't get myself together enough to do what was needed to carry out goals halfway through the year when I was having a bad time in general, just doing normal things. So December came around and I tossed back and forth with the idea quite a bit as to whether or not I wanted to do Cultivate What Matters power sheets for 2020 planning. I really liked the system when I did the overview of it, and I actually started doing the prep work for it for 2019's half year setup. I just never followed through with it, again, because of where life was for me. And so I had initially started trying to create my own because I was trying to save money, but I feel like when I'm given too much room to be able to change stuff around, it becomes toxic for me because it's like I never stop creating different things and altering stuff because there's something else that I could do differently. But I found that with bound planners, it is so much easier for me to just stay focused on the task at hand versus trying to make things look better. And so first and foremost, this is a bound planner, a bound planner, and so I can't really take anything out of here that doesn't have perforated sheets without ruining the page. Everything is meant to stay in here except those perforated sheets. So that is one reason why I like it. The other reason is that it's just guided. There's a lot of things in here to help you along the way. I found the prep work very, very helpful, and it's tons of things to do, but you could tell that I was really into it just looking at how much I actually wrote on these sheets. I'm not going to go through the details of it, but as you learned in a recent video I posted, my word of the year is emergence. And so I did choose emergence for my word of the year. And my goals that I decided to choose for this year were all derived based off of the prep work that I had done. I kind of had a gist of how to do the prep work because of last year's. And so I started doing them even before I actually got the goal setting planner. But it was a sound investment. I'm very glad I chose it. I decided not to use the colors to kind of like organize my goals and make sure that I have them labeled that they have in here because I didn't want to buy more of their stickers because I didn't want to pay for the sticker books. But I did find a shop on Etsy, and I think it was Planner Kate. She has the little dots. They're not transparent, and there's like rows and rows of them, and so I bought a few of those, and this is what I'm using. This is the color code that I chose for it, if you were wondering what those dots were. But my actual goals that I decided to choose, again, they're just based off of things because you want to make sure that you're setting goals that are going to be goals that are important to you for future, and I'm not talking about next year, I'm talking about things that are going to be important for you years and years and years from now. And that's something that's going to be irrelevant. You don't want to waste time on doing things that will become irrelevant, working on goals that are going nowhere. And so my aim is for that, and that's what this goal setting planner actually also focuses on, making sure that the goals that you're setting are things that are going to be for not your immediate future, unless it's something that's going to benefit you for your legacy. So it's based off of your legacy. So for me, things that I wanted to work on. And it's not in any particular order categorized, but they're just listed. I had focused on my physical and mental wellness. That's something that I truly lacked last year. And I went through a whole lot of struggles when it comes to depression, anxiety, and also just not being motivated. And so it took a toll on everything. I didn't have a whole lot of physical health problems, but I didn't have energy, which is enough in itself. And like I said, my mental health was not where I would have liked it to be, by any means. And so those things are something that I have already begun focusing on for this year. The next goal that I had was to pay off my debt and establish savings. Our goal is to have all of our debt paid off within 2 to 3 years, and to have a substantial savings for different savings goals established or continued. And so the next thing is building upon my relationship with Christ. This will forever and always be a goal. This will forever and always be on the very tip top of my to-dos. Because there is nothing that I can or want to accomplish in my own name. And so if I am keeping him out of things in my life, then they're typically dead ends and don't go anywhere, or they drive me away from him, which ends up hurting other areas of my life. And so building my relationship with God is primary for me. Now, that one should have definitely been at the top of my list, but like I said, these were not in any particular order. But I can definitely, again, say that is my number one goal. The next one was cultivate bonds in my relationships with my loved ones, whether it be my kids, whether it be my husband, whether it be my immediate family or my extended family. One, to make sure that I'm doing my very best with cultivating my relationships with my loved ones. Again, being in the state that I was last year, it just made me, when I go through bouts of depression, I get into a place where I kind of like shut myself out from the world. It's unintentional, of course. I love my family. They've not done anything to me, or they, in those instances haven't done anything to where I'm shutting them out for something that they did. It's just that I start breaking down to where I don't know how to really function. And so talking to people is a part of my shutdown. And so I'm trying my best to make sure that I'm not doing that, and then realizing that if I'm experiencing certain things like this, that other people could be too, whether it's on the same scale or a smaller scale. But I do know that I have family members. I'm the oldest of all my siblings, and I want to make sure that I am keeping myself in a place to where, going back to my mental and physical wellness, to where they can depend on me. I need to be dependable for my family, not because I feel like they need me, but because I want to. I am their oldest sibling, and I do feel like I have a responsibility of being there for them and, being a certain person for them. And I want to make sure that I am putting myself in positions to be able to do that. That is definitely something that I want to do. I want to make sure that I am being present with my family. When I was going through depression, it was hard for me to even do things like sitting in my own living room. I was crouched into a fourth of a corner, not even that, maybe like a sixth of a corner of my bed almost the entire year last year, because of the depression that I was experiencing and how I had shut everybody out because I could not handle being around people. This year, this is not going to be my story. I refuse to make it that way. And so I started making steps. And once you get into that mode and your mind is shut off, it's hard for you to incorporate people back into your life and being present with people, regardless of who it is. It doesn't matter if it's your kids, your husband, your friends, your family, your coworkers, it doesn't really matter who it is. It's hard. It's hard for you to like break that stronghold in your mind that says that you can't, that brings on, and it's kind of like it's something that you really can't even like, when you are going through anxiety and depression, and you have this stronghold in your mind, it comes to a point to where you start getting anxious just doing things that should be normal. Like for me, like it was to the point where, because I had been shut off and I was in my bed and in my room and like not communicating with anybody for so long, I would start having anxiety trying to be in other people's presence. Like if I wasn't in my own space, if you start talking to me too much, or if I was just around other people too much, like I would start getting anxious and overwhelmed and like almost having an anxiety attack. And so that was something that I prayed about. That was something that I definitely believe that God broke off of me, because I didn't even realize when I started like stepping out of my room, like how I wasn't really having those feelings anymore. But it definitely happened. But you know, God definitely does give you the desires of your heart when they align with His will for your life. It is in my best interest, my kids' best interest, and in God's will to make sure that I'm being present for my family, be a part of their lives. And so definitely making sure that I was taking the necessary steps to make that happen. I had a low battery thing, so I need to go get my charger. But anyway, yeah, just making sure that I took those steps was necessary. And so that's like one of the things, just based off of that whole wanted to make sure I'm cultivating my relationships. All right, so the next goal that I had was enriching my intellect, and that would be basically on the subjects that matter to me in the big picture, which the things that are going to matter that I'm trying to accomplish in life based off of what I want my legacy to be left for and such. And so just thinking about those things, wanting to make sure that in thinking about those things, the things that I'm choosing to include myself in, to infiltrate myself in, to be a part of, to whatever the case may be, that is something that's going to matter for me in the long run. I don't have time to waste, and everything that I've been doing has been geared towards that, wanting to make sure I am making the best value out of my time. I don't have none of us have unlimited amount of time on this earth, and every moment is precious, and we need to make sure we're making every moment worth it. That's another reason why I just, I pray so much to God and helping me break that anxiety off of me so that I can be present, because time you cannot get back. I cannot get back years of my kids' life that I was sitting in turmoil, trapped in my own mind. Like, I can't get that back, but I can move forward now. And I'm just thankful that my children still love me, that God helped me out and did things for me at an age with them where they don't resent me for anything at this point where I'm still married. I didn't, and all last year I was, it's like you have the anxiety and the depression and they feed off of each other. I was having the issue where I was like, I don't want this to be something that leads to my husband divorcing me and my kids hating me. Like, I didn't want that. And that's something that I kept saying over and over. But the worrying about that it took me further and further down in the depression that I was experiencing. And so, I'm telling y'all, man, it was horrible. It was horrible. And it's not, it wasn't, I don't even want to get into it. That's a story for another time. I'm just keep going with the goals at this point, because clearly I got a lot to say. But anyway, enriching my intellect. So doing things like making sure that the books that I'm reading are geared towards things that are going to matter for me in the big picture, things that are going to help my health, my wellness, goals that I have set for this year and for the future, goals that I have set for whatever the case may be, making sure that the books that I'm reading are geared towards my goals, making sure that the events that I decide to partake in, the events that I decide to integrate myself into, the people that I have in my life are to help me enrich my intellect, to help me grow in whatever category or area it is that I decided to grow in. And so that is why I chose that as a goal. And so the next is to complete my manuscript for my book that I'm writing. This is something that God laid on my heart to do like years and years and years and years and years ago. And I've started and stopped and started and stopped and started and stopped. And I just feel like, it's time is now. Like, I feel like the reason why I could never complete it is because I'd always like stray away from what the things that I should be doing to be on track according to what God has for me as personal convictions. Not that I was doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff or out here being sinful and bad and things of that nature. But at the same time, like, I need to make sure that what I'm doing aligns with what God is convicting me personally about. And so because of that, I could never finish the book. But, a lot of God's will for me this year, making sure that I am as close to Him in my relationship as I can be this year, growing in my relationship with Him each and every day, and making sure I'm doing other things like learning what I need to learn and not wasting my time is what's going to help me to be able to accomplish that goal of making sure that I get my first manuscript, my first draft of this book, at least, if nothing else, finished. So this of many books to come. prayerfully. You know, that's what I'm speaking into existence in Jesus' name, and I believe that's what he has for me. So I'm super excited about that. And the next goal was developing my social media and influence, as well as my motivational influence and a few different things. Like, that's gonna be something that I think will come in time. And with that, you know, just making sure that I'm planning everything out appropriately and accordingly and such is going to be what's going to kind of drive that for me. Not getting overwhelmed, not getting frustrated and disappointed in myself, giving myself grace, and also just continuing to keep moving forward, even if, you know, putting one step in front of the other, not judging myself against other people. Those type of things are what I'm going to be utilizing when it comes to developing. Also making sure that I am seeking guidance of people who know what they're doing already, and making sure that I am learning from other people, learning from other sources. So I'm super excited about doing that. And then lastly, improving my work ethic. Y'all, I don't have the hardest job in the world, and I get paid a pretty decent amount of money for what I do. And I've been working in the call center environment for a very long time now. Now, is that my choice job that I enjoy doing? Is that what I see or saw or feel that I want to be doing by the time I retire? Of course not. I don't think that there is one person that works on the phones in a call center that actually says that, hey, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is what I saw myself doing as a kid. There isn't anybody who has that type of thought process. But let me tell you, if you be a steward, a good steward over the things that you have, then God will bless you with more. So I'm looking to, instead of looking down on myself, looking down on my situation, looking down on my job, and taking what I have for granted, I'm going to do the very best that I can at what God has given me so far, so that I am showing him that, hey, whenever you're ready to move me, God, I am ready for it, you know? I don't have any college degrees or anything like that, but that's not how God works. And I know that. And he knows that this is not, I don't feel like this is where I'm meant to be forever, by far. I feel like there's a lot that God has in me to be able to do. And some of it is just waiting on me to move. Some of it is waiting on me to do the right thing. Some of it is waiting on me to be consistent, which I have had a problem with, clearly. And I'm sure that half of that had to do with the fact that I was suffering with the depression and anxiety and not handling it like I needed to. But yeah, I just want to be a good steward over what God has given me. That way, when it's time for him to bless me with the next thing, I am ready for it and I know what to do with it. So I'm keeping that in mind. So we got all of these goals that I have, and I'm super excited about them. Are any of the goals that I have on my list goals that you have on your list for 2020? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any feedback to give me about my goals, anything you think that I could do to help me out in the areas that I have for focus, let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoy listening to me with my goals. I hope some of it inspired you for what you plan on doing for your goals this year. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Make sure that you have liked this video if you did enjoy it. And if you're not already, I hope you decided to subscribe to my channel, and make sure you tap that bell. All right, guys. Talk to you later. God bless. Bye.